So as everyone knows, Candace Owens, she did a podcast where pretty much she was on the she was on the whatever podcast, and she sat on the panel with a group of girls, and I'm gonna just let y'all know now that was crazy. Candace Owens did not come to play at all, but I'm gonna let y'all see it for yourself, and y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments.
It's 10:45 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm 29 and single, and I don't have kids yet. Here's what your Saturday morning looks like when you're single at 29 and you don't have a kid running around the house. I didn't rise from my bed until 10:15. Every time I thought, I should probably get up and do something. I thought, why? Nobody's making me. I'm not missing out on anything. I went to Beyonce last night, and I didn't get home until 1 a.m. And I danced and drank my little heart out, and I didn't pay a babysitter to watch my kids as I did that. And I woke up a tad hungover this morning, which is probably why.
Question: why does she keep mentioning I don't have kids, or she keeps saying stuff about kids? Like I don't get it. Like, why are you emphasizing that point?
I was in bed for so long, and I was just scrolling on my phone, and I saw a picture of shakshuka, and I thought, it sounds really good. Maybe I'm gonna learn how to make shakshuka today, because I have no plans, and I don't have kids, and I don't have a husband, and I don't have errands to run. I can go to the grocery store and learn how to make shakshuka. So that's on my agenda today. Also on my agenda, probably a rewatch of some Real Housewives of New York. Also doing a rewatch of Normal People on Hulu, which is really spicy and I highly recommend. Weirdly, I'm into this documentary on Netflix about blue zone countries, so I've got a pretty stacked day. Anyway, I say all this to say, whenever I'm hard on myself about why I'm not married and I don't have kids and I should be further along at 29, almost 30, I wouldn't want to do anything else this Saturday. And I know that you can do all these.
This will probably be the same woman in probably like 4 or 5 years from now, who will talk about how she's not married, how she doesn't have any kids, how she wants kids, and how she should have spent her 20s looking for a man. She sounded exactly like that woman. You guys know what I'm talking about.
These things when you have kids and you're married, and I understand, but the effortlessness and ease of my life, just kind of focusing on myself and the shakshuka I want to make or the Beyonce concert I want to go to, really pays off when I'm hard on myself for not being where society tells me I should be in life.
I thought it was going to be really her going shot.
So, why do you guys think that this video went kind of crazy viral, and what's the analysis here?
I mean, it went crazy viral because Matt Walsh tweeted it. Let's be real.
I didn't know
would have
that.
just gone into the ethosphere on TikTok, and no one would have talked about it had he not picked that up and tweeted it.
Well, was Matt? I don't know if Matt Walsh was the first
he
person.
Was.
Oh, was
Yeah.
he really? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But I guess what's interesting to me is that this woman has actually even said, she gives herself a hard time. She wants to be married. She wants to have children. So I don't think that it's right to demonize her and act like she's going to have a depressing life when she just hasn't found the right person, because clearly she wants those things and she's trying to make herself feel better and other people in that community feel better about not being that far along. Because like you said, you wanted people to settle down with the right person, take their time, figure out if that's the right person. So just because she's 29, you're saying that it's too late for her and she's going to be doing Xanax and drinking wine at night because she hasn't reached that point
yet? I didn't say that. That's not what my tweet said.
You said the future.
Yeah,
right.
Because she's obviously a narcissist, right? So
why
the
would you
issue,
think
first
that?
and foremost, let's not pretend this is one video that she made. It's her brand on TikTok. It's her brand on social media. She talks about these are this community known as dinks. We're happy and we're childless. She talks about how great it is to be childless.
That makes a whole lot of sense right now. That would explain why when she was talking, she kept talking about, kids being a factor, not having kids. That explains a whole lot to me. That's her community. That's her brand. That's how she make that money, make that cheddar. Okay, yeah. If I notice that's what's doing it for me, I'm going to promote that. Sure.
So she has developed she's a social media influencer
Mm-hmm.
that talks about childlessness. So let's not pretend this is one woman making a video who just said, oh, I had a great Saturday. There's absolutely no reason, if you had a great Saturday at 29 years old and you learned to make shakshuka and you slept in at 11 until 11:15 or 10:15, whatever she said, that you need to bring up children. There's absolutely no reason. You just say, here's what I did today. I laid in all day. I did this.
Right.
I did that. The fact that she has to correlate it to saying, and
Mhm.
this somehow makes me better than people that have children, is the problem.
She
She
doesn't say
started,
that.
she literally goes on to talk about not having children. It wasn't necessary in this video. So it's not like people are just shaming single women on the internet. You could go on right now and talk about what you've done all day, and there's no reason to bring up, but you know, having a child or not. She's actually doing the shaming, and now we're trying to pretend that she's the victim. She's not. She has a brand where she talks about childlessness and she talks about leaning
She's
into
trying to
selfishness
promote
and
that-
all the things that are
that
amazing
brand.
about not having children. Again, this is not the first video that she's produced. So the reason why, and if you're a man watching this, don't marry this woman. She's basically telling you she's selfish. She's telling you she's a narcissist. Everything she says is about me, 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 me. Even if you're single, you don't have to make your whole day revolve around you. You don't have to. You can get up in the morning. You can go help others. You can do other
Mhm.
things. You can say, now that I have free time as a single woman, I can go dedicate time to the church. I can sing. I can do this. I can help people find God. That particular woman that you just looked at is a selfish bitch, and men should not marry her. That's my personal opinion.
You wanted to come in really quick?
Yes, I wanted to answer your question real quick as to, you said why it went viral. I
Sure.
think it went viral because it's like nowadays it's relatable in our day and age. You know what I mean? Like 22, 23 years old. I don't know how old this girl is,
29.
but like
29.
29 or whatever, but in my day and age, like it's relatable to be like, haha, we don't got kids, like quote
You're
unquote,
22.
fuck them kids. You know what I mean? It's like
I'm glad you're admitting that.
it's like
I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that, okay, if that is the lifestyle that you choose for yourself, you say you don't want to have kids or say you want to have them later on, nobody's faulting you for that. I think the problem that people have is that while you're living that life, you're coming at other people who chose differently or kind of sneak dissing, you know? Like with the lady, she made sure to mention kids like every other sentence that she said out her mouth. So it's not that, oh, that's what you choose. It's not that, how can I say it? If that's what you want to do, fine. Do it. But don't come at others. Point blank, period. That's all I'm going to say on that.
like that.
I'm glad
Like,
you're admitting
it's,
that.
It's like a term that people use, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just relatable.
honest.
Like that's why it gets so many views, is what, to answer your question.
I think that's really honest of you to say that.
Is
You
she
wanna
being
come in,
honest?
go
Fuck
ahead.
Yeah.
them kids.
Yeah.
No, I said
I'm
quote
just gonna-
unquote.
I was
That's what
gonna-
they say. you know
Yeah,
what I
but you're
mean?
admitting that so that she's starting the fight. You're looking
And
at
it's a
people that are
trend,
moms.
that are
Like,
trending.
I don't when
It's a
when
trend.
I'm with my kids.
Right.
I don't post videos and say F them single chicks with no kids.
Right.
She did the baiting, okay, and we responded. That's it.
I don't know.
Like, it's a
The
new
first
trend
thing I was
type
gonna
thing.
say.
Hold on, let's just let Essie
Yeah.
go ahead. Go
The
ahead.
first thing I noticed about the video was that she was putting people with kids down. It'd be fine if she was just talking about how her day was and
Mhm.
wording it differently, but it seemed like almost immediately from the beginning of the video that she was belittling people with kids, which I think is like the part of the problem.
Pixie, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think this is like up to interpretation because personally, when I saw that video, my interpretation was like, oh, she's putting herself down because she's saying, like, oh, you know, when I tell myself, why am I not further along in life? You know, it's okay
Yeah,
because
I
at
could
least
see
I'm
that.
enjoying these things. So I could definitely see, like, depending on how you're looking at it or if you have further context, why you would think she's putting kids down. But when I saw that video by itself, I was thinking, like, people are kind of going a little bit overboard in the sense that she says she's being harsh on herself. She doesn't have children, and these are just the things that have made her happy today. And I don't think that by itself, without additional context, is inherently wrong.
Anybody else? Tara, did
Yeah.
I say it right this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know the background of what other types of content and messaging she puts out, but just from that video alone, I don't think to me, I never got the impression she was shaming people that women that were married to kids. It felt like she felt bad that she wasn't already there and she was just trying to be optimistic about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it sounded more like her content was about making women who are childless and not married yet and are
That argument could be made. That argument definitely could be made. She probably feels some type of way about not having that, and therefore makes content about it to make herself feel better. So I agree. It could definitely be that.
approaching the end of their reproductive years to like look on the bright side. But I really, and all my friends know I'm like so eager and ready for like marriage and kids, but I really honestly just didn't get that impression from that video alone that she was in any way.
So when she was talking
Shaming.
about, I got to go to a Beyonce concert and I didn't have to pay for a babysitter. You don't
Yeah,
think that
that's
was
no,
belittling?
like, it's so
yeah,
she
that
was
was
obviously
selfish of her to say that.
Yeah, she
but-
sounds selfish,
and she's
she was
saying
being
that.
rude. And if it was flipped and a conservative woman with children said the opposite of that to
Right.
single women,
It would blow up.
it would blow up, and they would
Right.
say, "How rude of you! Why are you even mentioning single women? Just say you had a good day with your kids. That's
Yeah,
fine. If I
and
said
I
I
feel
woke
like
up, went to the
nowadays
park
it's
with my
like-
kids, did that.
Candace,
Okay,
don't do them.
chill. Why are you correlating it to children? It doesn't make any sense. So, and like I said, she's produced more content, so that the context is important. She's leaned into this as a brand and as an influencer. So, then you're going to expect the people that influence people to have families to respond. Matt Walsh being among them, me being among them, and I would like to again warn men against marrying a woman who holds those sorts of perspectives, because she's ultimately just selfish. Like I said, you can have a day and you can be single. You don't have to dedicate your whole day to me, narcissist, me. Here's what I did for me. It's just not a woman that you want to marry, full stop, for leaving the kids totally separate.
I want to hear
I
the
wouldn't
chick in
marry
the
a woman
back,
like
like
that.
with the little
Go ahead.
pointy
And
hat
all I'm
on.
saying is like it's sad, but it's crazy that like it's a trend. You know what I mean? Like
It
that's
is.
why they're getting so many views on TikTok or Instagram or whatever they're posting these things on. It's like it's a trend.
Yeah.
And
That's
yeah,
her brand.
it's crazy.
Just a show of hands. Who here wants to have kids one day?
More, yeah. It's my third, but
Besides Candace, does anyone here have kids?
I do.
You got kids? How many?
I have a son. He's 21.
Okay, gotcha.
He's
Gotcha.
perfect, and I'm good.
Okay.
But
got
one
it.
thing I notice, a trend, like I agree that it's a trend, and she's doing that to brand herself and go viral and get a lot of attention and maybe monetize that. When I talk with other girls and they're younger, and I'll say, "Are you married? Are you planning on having children?" Sometimes that's a hot button for them, and it's maybe perhaps these kind of trends are like it's a rebellious thing, because sometimes it's expected for people to get married out of the gate and have children and that kind of traditional lifestyle. If it's an expectation that parents have that they put on their children, and younger generations aren't having it, especially these days when it's so hard it's so expensive. People are having to work a lot. That's just one thing I've noticed. A little pushback on that question, even when I ask it. And I love children.
Gotcha. And I don't recall if you had a response to Candace or.
I mean, I was just going to say the opposite content does exist. And I would say that it's more prevalent, and usually there's more of it than there is the opposite. And whatever community she wants to represent, I think that somebody that is single, and obviously, like I said, she closed out the video saying, I know that women that are married and have children can do all of these things as well, but this is what makes me feel better because I'm not that far along. And I think if she's giving comfort and solace to women that want to be in that position and aren't quite there yet, whether you took it that way or not, I think that that's okay.
I don't think anything that she did in there was meant to be charitable. It was all about her. So, I mean, just a different interpretation. But I'm just happy that you were honest and admitted that it is becoming trendy to put
It's
down
like-
women.
Yeah.
Yeah. But by the way, speaking to what you were saying about it being an act of rebellion, I used to be a feminist. If you had found me, you're 22, right? Found me at 22, I would have probably had the same perspectives as you about family. It is something different, and you will realize that when it's someone that's 29 years old and saying that, it's not the same intention. It's not, I'm young, I'm free, I'm wild.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to watch more videos of her. I didn't always heard of Candace Owens, but I never really took the time and really watched her videos. I always kind of would click off. But this interview right here is definitely making me want to do some more research on her and definitely find what else can I learn about her.
And I think I'm going to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
What she's doing is something different. And also just recently today, actually, Emma Ratajkowski came out with a quote about, I think getting divorced before you're 30 is chic. That's something else. And that a woman at 22, a woman at 29 saying something that is appropriate when you're at 21 or 22, it's a little different. And
that's pretty much the end of the video. But I mean, y'all tell me, is what she's saying facts or cap? Is she telling the truth or is she not? I'm gonna be honest. I definitely agree with that one chick who was depending on how you look at it, it could either be, she was coming off at people who had kids, or, if you look at it a different way, this is her just celebrating or, coming to terms with the fact that she doesn't have them right now. But you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and you guys tell me what you want to see next. All right, have a good one.